I'm a big fan of fasting, and I fast every day till about 2:00. It's currently, when we're recording this, 2:14. So I'm going to get.
Oh, sorry.
Soon,
You're hungry. Yeah.
soon. But before we do, I want to ask a question, and I don't know how deep you can delve into it. How is Clive Palmer? What's happening with him? Have you heard from him?
Oh, no. All that happened was the lawyer said, like, this is a matter for the courts. We've presented it to there. Await our response. So it expires maybe 3-4 months from now, I think. But I think that essentially what happened was he tried to shut me up during the election for his chances, to increase his chances, and mission accomplished, it did, because it scared the fuck out of me at the time.
Of course it did.
Yeah.
So for people who don't know, can you give the fucking cliff notes on the whole thing?
Basically, I did a video about Clive Palmer just being like, don't be enamored by his meme page. He's extremely dodge. He's an exploitative, evil man. These are the things that he does. But I called him a fatty McFuckhead as well. And like, you know, all of those things are backed by fact. But he decided to sue me because, you know, like you can't, it's like very subjective what a fatty McFuckhead is. So like essentially in Australia, freedom of speech is kind of just limited to lords, i.e. members of parliament, because it was set up over the British system, right? So basically the only people that have free speech, supposedly according to our constitution, are like wealthy landowners, right? Everyone else doesn't really have free speech in Australia. Not technically anyway. So you can sue people for ridiculous shit like that. Like, that's why I'm always like very scared about you, Isaac. Like, I'm glad that you're doing it because it's fucking funny and shit like that. But I just know that, like, you know, if you say, and I'm in the same boat as well, right? Like, if you say these things, it's technically defamation. And it, like, if they wanted to push it through the courts, they could. They're not going to win, but they have a legal case that they can sit there and drain you of money for years if they want to ruin your life. And Clive Palmer's the kind of vindictive fat piece of shit that does do that to people. He does it to mayors, members of parliament. He'll just ruin their life until they submit because he makes $1 million a day and he can. You know? So like, anyway, that's what's happening at the moment. I don't think he's going to push through with it because I think he's got bigger fish to fry and he doesn't care anymore. But, yeah, I think that's what he does. Like, he's notorious for doing this. Anyone that ever says anything bad about him, he sues them.
Isn't that crazy that you can sue someone for calling you a mean name?
I know. And it's amazing that it's like, hey, I might have ripped off all my workers at the nickel refinery. I might have been involved in a criminal case. I might be selling, you know, like $1 million a day worth of resources to a country that I myself consider a threat to Australia's security. But I'm not fat. You know, like,
I wish I knew that when I was a fat teenager. I could have just had like 15 defamation suits going at lunchtime. That's how I would have lived my life.
Yeah, you'd be as rich as Clive Palmer.
Yeah.